So welcome to
Okay.
day number two, everybody. Let's just continue where we left off yesterday. Let us basically see that how can we essentially start doing more with our marketing right now. So I'm going to share my screen, okay, and I'm going to simply continue from where I left off with Facebook campaigns. I hope all of you can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Now, before I kind of get deeper into the Facebook ads, let me just show you some samples of how the Facebook ad looks like, so you get a good perspective, right? So I'll just expand my screen so that you guys can see it properly. So nowadays, what a lot of HR do, they shoot targeted ads to people. For example, look at this in the left hand side, Ideal Home Care, correct? So what they're doing is, so they're running an ad campaign saying that Ideal Home Care has an immediate opening of RN and LPN join a US top 100 team, right? And if you see, they have this advertising campaign which looks pretty nice and they target towards people, who are looking for a particular designation. Or looking at the right hand side, this is a company called WordStream. His CEO Larry Kim, okay, he's running a campaign saying that WordStream is hiring tons of jobs in every department: sales, engineering, marketing, customer service. If you're looking for a new job in Boston, check out the openings here, and they're giving the link to the application tracking system. And if you see again, all right, they basically figure out things over here as well. So these are ads like this is what we're going to prepare today, and I'm going to show you how can you start targeting people and show them your ad campaigns, in no time, right? So this one can be, you'll be surprised to see, like, you won't believe. So one of my friends, he works for a HR company, and he basically ran an ad campaign for job applications, correct? Do you want to make a guess in how much price, like how much money he would be spending to get one CV from a potential candidate? Make a wild guess. How much would he be paying to get one CV? Like, what's his cost per lead for getting one potential candidate using Facebook ads? Put a price. Make a guess. So let's take Harsha is saying zero. No, it's not a zero because we're running ad campaign. So we are spending money over here, to kind of reach out to people. It's not zero. 40,000. You think it's per CV, Sanjana? That's quite a lot actually, right? So it's not 40,000 rupees. Okay, let me tell you. Let me give you a hint. It is less than 1,000 rupees per CV. How much price would it be? Put a guess. Give me a price. 400, 500, 300, 200. How much do you think? So he was getting one CV for hardly 100 rupees. In fact, qualified CVs. I mean, after they put in a lot of questions, after they answer a lot of these, about their background details, and they upload their CV, and they actually tell that why are they looking to get a job, right? That's how simple it is, and that's how cost effective this entire thing is. So it's not very expensive, to be very frank. It's much more affordable than we paying money to Naukri and Monster to reach out to these people, right? So let me kind of show this to you. How does it really work? So you come to Facebook right now, and over here in the left hand side, we come to this thing called you'll find this thing called ads over here. Sorry, you click on this thing called create on top, and you go to this thing called ads. So now we're going to make our first advertising campaign on Facebook to basically get people to fill up a CV on our website. Okay, so there are multiple objective campaigns, but the most relevant for for the HR is this campaign which is known as traffic campaign. What is traffic? Traffic means I want to get people to my website to come and fill up a particular form, and I want to get people to see my website. So website can be your application tracking system, it can be a Google form, it can be wherever you're asking him to upload his details, right? So we choose traffic over here, we come down, click continue. Then we click next. So I'm going to choose the website over here. I come down over here. What's my start date? My start date. So if you say like, okay, like how much days you want this campaign to run? How many days you want to show the ads to people? So you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna start my campaign today on 9th October, and I'm gonna end my campaign. Let's take for example, I want to run this. I want to say I want to do a 1 week campaign asking people to kind of see my message about series. So just to give you perspective, where will the entire thing come? So it'll come over here. You see Princeton Academy sponsored campaign. You see this over here? Scrum process, train the trainer for virtual classroom, right? These things, okay? These basically are our campaigns. This is basically, how does it really work? And we're going to run the ad campaigns over here, right? So, and when we click over here and I go to their site, okay, this is basically, when I'm currently on their site and I'm looking at things, I'm seeing basically, how does it really work? What is to be done? Okay, and I'm currently trying to figure out about these things over here. So so this is basically a traffic. This is what you call the traffic campaign. I'm diverting people to come and visit one of my websites over here. Correct. So the question is, how do we do it? How do we kind of work around with it? Let's understand that. So for this one, okay, for running this kind of a campaign, we come to this thing called Facebook. Facebook Ad Manager, and we can select started in the end date. Now we come down. We're going to select create new audience. And over here, I can select whichever location I want. Suppose I want to choose India, I can choose India. Suppose I choose Mumbai, I can choose Mumbai. I can choose whatever I want. So let's take, for example, I want to only get applicants from Mumbai. I can type the word Mumbai over here. And then people only in Mumbai will start seeing my ads. And, nobody else will see one of my CVs. But let's take, for example, you wanna show ads to those people staying within a particular state in Mumbai. So let's say they're staying in Santa Cruz, let's say staying in Bandra, or whichever location it is. Do you think it is possible for me to show an ad within a particular city? Yes or no? Either I can do it or I can't do it. What do you feel? Yes, I can. Correct. So let's say, for example, if I want to show my ad to people currently only and only in Santa Cruz, I can put the pin code of the location. So no matter, I can put a pin code in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Kolkata, wherever it is. And basically the moment I put the pin code over here, okay, I can technically show my ad campaign to those people. You can see currently in Santa Cruz there are about 1.6 lakh people right now, who can probably see my ad campaign. Right. Now, let me just put Mumbai only as of now. Just so you want to find candidate from entire Mumbai. Come down. Now choose the age group. Now let's see what's the age group. So where you want to show our campaign. Let's take for example, I want my candidate to be about 25. From 25 to let's take for example to about 40. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay. So we come back over here. Now we see this is my campaign Mumbai 25 to 42. There are about 88 lakh people currently in Mumbai. For example, if I want to choose a gender, male, female, I can choose that as well. I can show my ads only to females. I can show my ads only to males. I can show my ads to everybody. Right? I can also do that as well. Now this, okay, over here, so digital demographic is a main part over here. So let's take, for example, now I can do ads in multiple scenarios. Suppose you want a candidate from a potential B school, correct? I can also type the B school. Suppose you want people only from IIM Bangalore. One second, wait, let me just see. Right, okay. Let's do NMIMS. I can do any NMIMS, and people who have said that they're working and they're studying in NMIMS will see my ads. Suppose I choose IIM Bangalore, I can choose only IIM Bangalore, and basically people who are from IIM Bangalore will see my ads. Similarly, let's take for example, I want to currently show my ads to people who are managers in a particular company. So then I can only show my ads to specific people who said they're managers. But let's say for example, I want to show my ads to only to people who are currently in sales or the sales manager. I can basically, show my ads to currently the sales team manager, retail sales manager, senior manager, etc., etc., etc. So you can just put down your designation that you're looking for people, okay, and your ads will be shown to those designations only, and people can start seeing your, people can start currently seeing your things and watching your campaigns and everything over here. So, and let's take for example, let's take now you want to show ads to people who got certain skill sets. So what skill set? Let's take skill set of financial planning, right? So for example, I can do financial planning, and people who are interested in financial planning will start seeing the ads. So you can technically select anything on this planet, and basically your messages, your application ad will be seen to those people only who match your criteria. And that's one of the beautiful parts about this campaign, that you can be very precise in your targeting. Are we clear with this so far, people? Any doubts, any questions, any queries on this till now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we come down over here. And over here, I can also choose what language people speak. So let's see, I can choose people English, people speak Tamil, people speak Malayalam, people speak, Kannada, people speaking Hindi. I can choose whatever language that I want my potential candidate to know. I'm going to put that over here. Correct. Now I come down, and you can also show your ads on which platform. So let's say I show my ads only on Facebook, only on Insta, only on Audience and Messenger. I can simply do that. I can show my ads to wherever basically I want to kind of go about it. So let's take, for example, I want to only show my ads on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Then my ads will only go over there, won't go anywhere else. So that is how, you can simply select where you want to show your campaigns. So I'll do a quick repetition one more time. First thing what we did, we chose a campaign objective. Our objective was traffic. Then we go to the next page. We selected, okay, then you also select where do you want the traffic to go. On a website, on app, messenger, or WhatsApp. So you can send them to a particular website to fill up the form. Then I come down over here, I can select start date and the end date. I can also select basically my audience. Where do they stay? What's their age? What's their gender? What is the detailed targeting? What is the job title? Where do they go? What do they do? How do they do it? Etc. 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 Then, what language people speak? I can also figure out about that as well. So once I'm done with all of these things, okay, and finally, where do I show my ad? Do I want to show on Facebook? Do I want to show on Insta? Do I want to show anywhere else? Once I'm done with this, I go to the next page. I come over here in the ads column. And over here is where I'll actually, start running my campaigns. I'll come down. I can choose whether I want to show an image campaign or do I want to show a video campaign. Carousel basically means what you swipe right. What you just saw for Princeton. This is a carousel ad. Okay. And then collection is basically, when somebody clicks the same page, like opens up within Facebook itself. So we're going to choose a single image or a video right now. And after that, I'm also going to select a particular media file. So media is what? It's my image. What image I want to put on my ads. So come over here. I'm going to say add an image. And over here, I can either upload my own photograph. I can make it from Canva the way I showed you yesterday. Or I can choose stock photos. And in my stock photo, what I can simply do is I can also come over here and I can type over here something like, we are hiring. So click over here, click continue. And if you preview of my ad, this is how my ad will look like. I think we are hiring. Come down and type over here saying that we are looking for a potential candidate with XYZ, whatever, right? What do you want to do? And finally, then you put a headline. You'll just say, for example, job opening. Okay, digital marketing. And then you'll also have to put a website address over here. So the address will be www.hiteshmotwani.com. Right? And if I want a phone call, I can do a phone call. If I want a website, I can do a website, whatever. Right? And finally, I come down over here and I select publish. And the moment I select publish, okay, what does it simply mean is my ad will straight away go live. Okay, and then I have to essentially pay, the price for it. So, like it can be 100 rupee per day, 200 rupee per day, 300 rupee per day. So, by the way, where do you decide the price? You decide the price in the campaign level over here. So, you see over here, daily wages 4,000. You can put my budget is 500 rupees per day. So, every day 500 rupees will go. Okay, and in 500 rupees, okay, basically you might get say 3 or 4 or 5 candidates filling up the application form within Facebook itself. And that's the idea. That's how you can basically decide, what a campaign is going to be, how it's going to be, what are you going to do about it. Right? Pretty easy, people. Yeah. Such it's not difficult. It doesn't require an agency or some rocket science to do this. Technically, anybody can do this. It's very simple. Right? You just need to kind of start looking at these things practically. Any questions, any doubts, any queries till now on this? Okay, cool. Now let us come to the second part of the game, which is your LinkedIn. And how do we basically check LinkedIn? What do we do about it? And how do we kind of, make our profiles better? So first things first, okay. Now let me first of all talk about what we call as profile optimization. Now what is actually profile optimization? Now first let us see how do you improve profile better. Then I will talk about, how can you use LinkedIn better for your job openings and how can you go about doing that? How can you go about finding candidate, okay, hidden candidates currently who are looking for special openings, okay, and also how can you utilize some tools to figure out opposite person's data, okay, from a LinkedIn perspective. So first things first, you need to have a professional looking profile. Now, first things, get a cover photo. How do you make a cover photo for yourself? You go to Canva. Let me just go to the browsers. You can go to canva.com and over here type LinkedIn banner. And you'll find a lot of banners out here. A lot of these banners. And you can essentially select one of the banners which you can actually use for yourself. Okay. And you can utilize to kind of, get to know about them. Then after that, okay, you might want to basically, make your profiles in a way that people start coming to you rather than you going to people. So I've seen maximum people what they do is they write down the designations over here. Like maximum people write down, what their designation is, what do they do, and what they don't do over here. I want to understand how many people over here in your LinkedIn bio currently you've written down your designations right now. You've written as HR manager, HR head, XYZ company. You've just written that and nothing else. Give me a quick me on chat box in case you've written that down. Okay. Now, if you really ask me, you should be changing this for yourself. You shouldn't just put down your designations only, because what's going to happen is if you just put down a designation, okay, it's not going to help. I mean, people would not know anything more beyond your profile. So I'll give you a small tip. Okay. First thing first, write down your specialty. What's your specialty? For example, you are a recruitment specialist. You are a HR generalist. You are currently working, okay, at say for example human capital. Write down what's your overall specialty. What's your 360-degree specialization right now. First, talk about that. Comma. Then, all of you must be having some number in your life. A number can be the years of experience. A number can be, let's say, for example, the number of candidates you've recruited. A number can be, let's take, for example, the number of organizations that you have helped recruiting the right candidate for yourself, right? So, what's the number? So, number can be 10 plus years of experience, 20 plus years of experience. You recruit over 400% candidates. Okay. Or for example, you were one of the most founding members of a particular company, when you started off initially. So, for example, like what is that one number which you can probably stay by? That's what you want to put over here. And after that, you write down the current organization that you're a part of or you're working with. For example, you can say currently working with, Daikin International. Currently working with, let's take, MISM International. So whatever it is, or DSC Mutual Funds. You just write down your current company name in that case, which you're currently working with, you're currently operating with. So these are three things you should write down. Number one, you should write down about your specialization. Number two, write down a particular number in your life. And number three, write down current company you're working. Imagine there are two profiles in front of you. One profile says, I am the HR manager at XYZ company. And second profile says specialist in human resources, recruited over 400 plus candidates, responsible for 1000 plus employees in a current company, and currently working with XYZ firm. Which one is more powerful? The first one or second one? Which one is more powerful? Right? Second one, obviously, right? Why? Is because that suddenly gives a lot of light, a lot of it suddenly shows you in a better perspective. And when you forget about for one moment that you want to recruit other people. Let's take if you want to get recruited, even for the opposite HR, he feels more confident. He is not just speaking to any other HR person. He's speaking to somebody who comes with an experience, comes with a particular accolades for him or herself, right? And that is the advantage of making profile like this. Like for example, a lot of companies today approach me because I have put this word, digital marketing consultant or digital marketing trainer, my specialization, because of which they want to hire me. So, for example, if you see today when somebody is searching for a candidate, even when you search for a candidate, what do you type? You type something like, say, suppose you type recruitment specialist. And if you see, the profiles that come up on top are only those who have these terms: recruitment specialist, recruitment specialist, recruitment specialist, right? So, these terms have to be mentioned in your profile, because if you do not do that, then, unfortunately, nobody will know about your accolades or about your accomplishments. So now we come down. And the moment we come down, okay, over here is where basically now we write about an about section. Now, I will also talk from a third party perspective. Imagine, like, there are a lot of times. How many of you HR, by the way, over here? I'm sure that you must be looking at LinkedIn, for the for the employee's background check, or to check what currently the employee is doing. Correct? How many times have you actually shared a LinkedIn profile internally to your management just to kind of have a look at the profile candidature? And then you basically, then you decide, okay, whether I want to go ahead with or not. How many of you have actually done that? You have shared a LinkedIn profile internally to your management. Give me a quick yes in case you have. Give me a quick no in case you haven't. Okay. Anjana has, right? Even basically Harsha also has it. Correct. Now imagine if the LinkedIn profile is written as I am doing this, I am doing that, I am currently working with XYZ firm, I have currently done XYZ stuff, right? What's going to happen is if somebody's written something as I, then the biggest problem that's going to be is that you might have to rewrite the profile to make it more relevant for your senior manager. Otherwise, it looks very boastful, for a candidature. Now, imagine as an HR, if we think this is so unprofessional, don't you think basically even your profile should be something similar? So when you start writing about your profiles as an HR, right, don't write as somebody as I am doing that, I'm doing that. Write it from a third person's perspective. Write it basically as if somebody else is going to introducing you. Now, why do you do that? You do that because number one, it looks less boastful. Number two, okay, is basically it looks more professional also. And number three, even if somebody wants to forward your profile, they can easily do, and they don't have to rewrite the profile because it makes the job of a HR extremely easy, right? So you should be currently, looking at how can you put more content as a third person rather than putting the more content as a first person. Like write down as something like what I've written down. Hitesh is a communication expert, a social media trainer. He's currently worked with firms such as XYZ, 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 right? He is also basically a speaker at XYZ summits, blah 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 blah. So if you notice, I've also written on my profiles as a third person and not as a first person. Correct. Also, as already must be aware, like when you search a Naukri and Monster, normally the CV comes on top, bases the keywords that the candidate has put in his CV, and the keyword he puts in his profile, while basically you can search it easily. Now, LinkedIn also works on same logic, right? So if you want to rank your profiles on top on, say for example, LinkedIn searches so that other potential candidates can find you and they're looking out for HR of a particular company or of a particular sector, right? Then you should be also putting that particular keywords out here. For example, you can put, say for example, HR at one of the largest air conditioner cooling company in the world. Let's take HR for financial services company, HR for engineering projects company, right? So you can basically put those words over here. So whenever somebody is searching for a profile like yours, it starts ranking up on top because they put the keyword out here. Now, obviously, obviously, for example, I want to rank on top, so my keywords are digital marketing trainer, digital marketing consultant, digital marketing XYZ, all that thing. But, but you cannot put in you cannot put in all the keywords out here. To be very frank, correct? So then, what do you do? In that case, you can simply put down your keywords over here. Okay. So what does it mean? For example, I can just write the word specialities and then I can put those words. Recruitment specialist, say for example, HR operations, right? HR generalist profile, for example, rolling out offer letters, looking after learning and development, etc., etc., etc. So I can start putting out these things over here for myself. And again, that helps me to make things look better, in our life. So that's what really it is. Correct. So you should be making your bio accordingly so that people start knowing and people start looking at a very different light. Now, we come down over here, and over here is basically where you'll find down you'll find down your dashboard. Now, this is a very good dashboard to kind of check, from a profile perspective that what are the words you are being searched for. For example, I appear in search results 3 to 6 times. Let's take if I just click on this thing, I can check, what are the different companies are looking after me. So companies like Stanton Chase, India Consulting, NetMagic, Naspers, Process Group. This is where searchers work and they're searching about me currently. What do searchers do? They are founders, strategists, salesperson, ad specialist, and marketing specialist. What are the keywords I'm coming over here for? I'm going to coming for the words like visiting faculty, management, online manager, executive assistant to CEO, and students. Right? These are kind of words that people are searching about me, and I'm coming out ranking on for those kind of keywords. Correct. So this gives me a good picture whether my search results is working or not, whether things are happening about me or not. So I actually check that over here, and that kind of also helps me to build up a profile in a particular way. And then suppose if you won any awards, suppose you won any accolades, right? You can also basically put these things over. You can because, so for example, like I've made a presentation on future technology. I written an article. Okay, I'd also basically I also was one of the persons who ranked top 30 on 30, right? This is the article just for that. So basically, you can also basically put down your links, or let's say you won an internal award, you're part of a seminar, you were a speaker, just put about all of those things over here for people to kind of know more about you and search more about you. Finally, I come down and I can talk about my experience. So what's my experience now? My experience basically is that what's been my professional experience so far. Now, before I tell you more about this very segment, I want to understand how many people over here are 8+ years of experience, and how many people over here have 8- years of experience. So if you got 8+, type the word 8+. If you're below it, then just type the word 8- on the chat box. So you see Anjana has got 8-. Namita and Harsha got 8+. Okay, good. So let me give you a small tip over here on how to make it more better. So if you're 8 years and above experience, to be very frank, you will not be doing a junior most role in your organization. Why? Primarily because, you know, currently what's happening is nobody is looking at a role which is execution based out of somebody who's 8+ years of experience. So when you write about yourself, you should be writing about yourself as if you are in a decision making position or a strategic position, which is why you are the right person to reach out to for any candidate. But if you're 8-, then people are looking for more executional based things. So in that case, what you need to do is you need to basically start writing about yourself from a perspective of third person. That means you have to know every smallest details about your current role which you have right now. Right? So, and also basically follow the same pattern. Suppose on top if you're writing as third person, even if you write as third person, on top if you're writing as first person, right over here as well this first person. Also, one more thing you should be noticing, or should be really caring about is one major thing over here is that if you're 8+ years of experience, do not write your profile in more than 6 lines or 6 sentences, because today people don't have time to read, right? And people do not want to know what you do on a daily basis. People want to know that what strategic choice you made, because of which you should be hired in the organization, and you should be hired to make things better for them, right? That's the idea. Okay, then you come down over here. Then you have to put down your education qualification. What's your education qualification like? What are you currently doing? Where do you do your courses from, etc. And then comes your skill set. So what's the skill set over here? So over here, basically, this is the top skills, okay, that you're currently going to work with, in your current role. That means, let's take for instance that this is the people who are endorsed. So when you add somebody on LinkedIn, they endorse you that okay, this person has this skill, this person has this person has this skills. So depending on what your top 3 skill sets are, try to put them over here on top. And suppose you want to add a new skill set, you can add a new skill set, and you can actually add a new skill set for yourself. Correct. So ensure that your skill sets are rightly mentioned in your profiles and your feed, because this is that only LinkedIn will be suggesting some of the skill sets to potential people who will technically vote for you. Finally, comes recommendation. So I'm sure that all of you must be having, say any client or internal clients or internal bosses who kind of recommend you an email or talk about how good stuff you're doing. Correct? Well, the same logic over here also. So you should try to get maximum people to review you, because the more people that review you, the better it is for you eventually, right? And the better it will be for anybody else. So essentially, try to basically see, if who can review you, what they can do, how they can do about you, so that you can actually start finding more about them. Right? And suppose if you have good rapport with somebody, ask them to give you a review to you, practically on LinkedIn. And also like if you control on it, to ask them to put the keywords that you want to rank on top for. So let's take, for example, I want to rank for the word digital marketing trainer. I will ask other people to put that word for me. Okay, saying digital marketing trainer, right? And that's the idea. And finally comes your accomplishments. Like how much have I accomplished, what's my years of experience, what have I done, what courses I've done, what kind of accolades I've got, etc. 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 So this, okay, is basically how do you optimize the profile. So I'll review one more time. Use this thing from Canva. Change your two-line bio over here. Okay. Currently, what you can also do is you can write down about your experience. Ensure that you write down about your experience. You write it down. Fade plus, write down a very strategic fashion. Fade minus, write down basically every possible thing that you do. On top over here, you'll find this thing known as about section of yours. In this section, preferably write about yourself in third person. Finally, when I come down over here, talk about education qualification, then talk about your skill sets to people, and then also ask people to recommend you on LinkedIn. The more recommendations you get, better it is for you, right? And I'll try to put accomplishments as well. This is what you need to do from a LinkedIn profile optimization perspective. Like to optimize the profile in a way that more and more people can start finding you and they can start knowing more about you. Any questions, any doubts? Are we clear with this on how to optimize your profiles? And do you think it's a very helpful exercise for you to actually do this practically by yourself so that more and more people can start finding you on LinkedIn? Give me a quick yes in case you agree with me. And do you find this to be extremely helpful? Yep. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll give you about 10 minutes or so. And I actually want you to attempt, changing your profiles the way I showed you. So I'll give you about 10 minutes. I want you to go through your profile and try to see what aspects you need to change right now so that we have a practical thing right at the end. And what typically happens is you also go home with something that you have achieved and something that you have changed so far. So can you all do this for me right now? Right? Can you go to LinkedIn right away? See, your profile and try to make potential changes now. If you get stuck anywhere, I'm here to help you out. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I'll give you 10 minutes time. It's 4:45 right now. Okay. Till 5:55. Try to basically, change those things. Right. So try to change at least your resume headline and the heading. What other things you can add and you can make a profile better. You need any help? I'm over here only. Dear Anjana, that's good that you've changed already. Fantastic. Good to know that. And just in case you guys want to add me on LinkedIn, I'll just share with you my link also, where you can add me on my LinkedIn account as well. So 10 minutes, guys. I'll also be back. Just come back in about 2 minutes or so. In meanwhile, you start doing it. If you get stuck anywhere, put your questions in the chat box and help you out. I can already see Anjana. She's done it.
Hitesh, you have not yet created my LinkedIn account. You said to create.
Oh, okay. You're done it yet. No problem. So first thing is first thing, create an account then in that case, right? And the way I showed you how to make a profile, try to make it that way.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
it'll start standing out in front of other people.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if how many of you guys know about how LinkedIn actually works in terms of variety of content and all. Okay. Uh, have you heard of this concept called 6 degree of separation? Anybody? Have you all heard this concept? 6 degree of separation? Yes, no. Are you guys aware of this concept called 6 degree of separation? Okay. It's a very famous concept in HR, by the way. So let's take, for example, between any two people in the world, what does show that there are only 6 people in the middle? Between any two people in the world, there are only 6 people who can connect you with them. Okay. So let's say, for example, you want to get connected to Trump. You know me. I know Kunal, who's the CEO of Ogilvy. He knows Piyush Pandey. Piyush Pandey knows Modi. Modi knows Trump. You see, between you and anybody in the world, there are 6 or less connections in the middle. That's what we call a 6 degree of separation. Now, why I'm telling you this and what's the logic behind it? The logic behind this simply is that when you basically start coming on LinkedIn, right? You might have found this thing which is known as first connection, second connection, and third connection. Usually, what we do is when we use LinkedIn, we can easily search for any candidate. So let's say for example, I'm looking for a marketing manager. I know about marketing manager, and I see over here people who are I can got people over here. And you see people over here, you have marketing manager, etc., etc., etc. Now, besides the nuisance single second, right? That is the number of people that are between you and them. So let's take, for instance, currently, okay. Sorry, I don't think I see my screen right now. Let me just share my screen. My bad. Okay. Can you all see my screen right now? So let's come to LinkedIn over here. I type the word over here, marketing manager. Correct. And you see, I go to people out here. I can see a lot of these people profiles out here. You see, Maria, Matthew, Vijay, Vishant, Saili, Namit, Abhishek, etc., etc., etc. And if you notice over here, besides the name, there is the word second written out here. Second, 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 second. Right? What does it mean? It simply means that between me and them, there's only one person in the middle. You know what LinkedIn tells us? That you can connect with people up to third connections. So let's take, for example, sometime beside the profile, if I just say filter by third and I apply, I will find all the people who are my third connections. So between me and Sriram, there will only be two more people in the middle where I can connect with Sriram. So Srihari, right? And I cannot connect beyond it. So let's take I'm connecting with somebody else, and if they are not there on LinkedIn, right? Also they're there on LinkedIn, but then I don't have any mutual friends between us and him. I will not be able to connect with him or her unless and until I have their email address, which I can actually use. So that is the main problem with LinkedIn. That LinkedIn wants, okay, you to basically have a good connection or at least be with those people who have good connections so that you can start reaching out to their profiles. So LinkedIn's entire network philosophy is based on this principle called 6 degree of separation. Okay. Then between you and somebody else, there are how many people currently in the middle? That's basically how your LinkedIn actually works. Now, one of the other things, okay, which is very, very crucial or very critical for anybody to use on LinkedIn is this thing called as LinkedIn search or the capability to be using LinkedIn search functionalities. Now, how do I use search functionalities? So let's take for example, if I want to figure out anybody, let's say I'm looking for a candidate who is a marketing head. I type the word marketing head, click on people, and suppose now I want people only from a specific industry. I click on this thing called all filters, type over here things like, let's say, Mumbai or India or whatever. I can also put any current company which I want to search for. So let's say I want to see a marketing head of XYZ firm, I can actually figure that out. Suppose if I want a specific industry that I want people from, I can also choose which industry I'm looking for people from. So let's take, for example, I'm looking for people from, let's take financial services industry, right? Financial services, and I can press apply. So then I will only find CVs or I will find potential people from my LinkedIn account, people who are marketing head in the financial services domain. For example, I can see Nilima Kale, Papiha Ghosh, Yash Bhargava from Waterfield, from JL Stream, from Aditya Birla Capital, head of marketing, etc., etc., etc. I can actually see all of those things over here. right? So like this, I can just connecting with them. I can network with them, tell them that we got a certain good opportunity. Would you be interested? Blah 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 blah, and I can simply do that. This is my first way of things. Now they've got many filters, by the way. They got a filter such as any past companies they have worked with, any location that they are from, any current companies they are from, any specific school that they go. For example, suppose if sometimes your mandate is to only hire people from Ivy Leagues, so you can start putting as a particular school such as IIMs, IITs, whichever it is, and you can start showing them. You can only target those people to kind of figure out their profiles. Then I can also basically, figure out that okay, what is the contact interest? So are they interested in pro bono consulting? Are they interested in non-profit? What are they interested in? Then I can also check what kind of services do people offer, right? And lastly is I can also search people with their first name, last name, job title, company name, or school name. I can actually search for all of these things by myself, and I can actually figure out a particular candidate on LinkedIn. Now, the question I have for you over here is there any limit to the number of searches that you make on LinkedIn for free? What do you think? Is there any limit? Depends on the account. No, I'm talking about basic account. I'm not talking about any other. I'm not talking about say for example Sales Navigator or the HR plan that comes on LinkedIn. By the way, I'm only talking about the basic account. Well, there is a search limit. So LinkedIn free account only allows you to search 100 profiles in a day. They will not allow you to search for beyond 100 people in a day, and you can only search up to 10 pages. Initially they might allow you, but if you keep on doing this, they might blocking your account for sending connection requests or blocking your account for seeing more profiles. So for that you need to have a LinkedIn premium account. So LinkedIn premium account is something which is additional, which you normally get, and from there you can actually keep on seeing a lot of these candidates and you can see a lot of their features, but otherwise you cannot do that. Now, does it happen every time that okay, like, you need somebody's email address, and sometimes you're unable to figure out the email address. I mean, do you always have a roadblock? Now, I'm going to show you something very magical today. Unfortunately, I cannot get the candidate's personal email ID. I can only get their business email ID, right? But again, this is still helpful for you for your outreach, just in case you want to reach out to somebody, just in case you want to have an informal chat. You can still reach out to people with their company details, right? And that's the best thing about this. So I'm going to show you a tool. Give me any corporate or any big companies, who or, whose email ID you want to basically check. Sorry, who or any particular designation of person whose email ID you want. Any company, your choice, but should be a big reputed firm. It doesn't work for small startups or mid-sized firms.
Maybe Mercedes Benz.
Okay, cool. Let's look at that. So let's take for example that I come back to my LinkedIn now. So there's this tool which is called Hunter.io. Hunter.io. In this tool, first of all, if you make an account, it's a premium tool, half free, half paid. Okay. Let's say I want to get Mercedes Benz's email ID. Anybody over there? I guess I can just type over here Mercedes Benz. I can open the site, which is mercedes-benz.com. I copy the URL, come over here and I type over here. Find email address. And see over here, I've got the email address. So the email address pattern is what? First dot last is mercedes-benz.com. Now let's take for instance, I want to figure out anybody's ID over here. How do I check that? So I can simply go to this website. I can simply go to LinkedIn right now. And when I go to LinkedIn, I can just type over here. So let's take if I want, say, any marketing person at Mercedes. Then I type about marketing over here. Let me just remove all of these things. Let me just type over here. Run companies as Mercedes Benz. You can see Mercedes-Benz, Shield, Mercedes retail. Let me do Mercedes-Benz retail. Let me apply this. Let's check on this guy called Harpreet Singh. And I want to now figure out his email address. How do I figure it out? So I can just copy his entire name. I come back to this tool and I search over here. And it will give me the email address is hsingh at mercedes-benz.com. Right. And this is the email ID pattern. Now, just in case I want to also verify it, I've also got this tool over here, which is called, which is basically called as, Rocket Reach. It's a Chrome extension. When I click over here, it will scan through the person's profile automatically, and it will basically give me, like what is the potential email address of this particular candidate right now. Okay. So it's not working, but yes, but technically I can figure out about any email address on any of the platforms from here, right? But this only works for a big corporate though. It doesn't work for individuals. Now, what if I want any individual's email ID? How do I figure that out? So let's take for example that I want to say, for example, get email addresses of all the CMOs, chief marketing officer in a particular company. And it's from people from Gurgaon, Delhi, Naukri, etc., etc., etc. I want to basically get their email addresses. How do I get their email addresses now? So it's extremely easy to find the email address. So if you just come over here, there's a tool which I have called Scrapp, SKRAPP. SKRAPP is a tool which I'm going to use right now for this. So Scrap is basically like an email finder from LinkedIn, from where I can simply find people's email addresses. Now, if I first make an account over here, I can simply save this profile out here. And if I want, I can simply make a list. So let's take and make a new list called CMO. And I want all the chief marketing officers' email ID to be used over here. Right? Now, how do I figure out? How do I check? What do I check? Like how do I get the email addresses? So I come back to LinkedIn. I type the word CMO. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply click on export with email finder. You see this? The Scrap is you have to first install the Scrap Chrome extension. You just type Scrap Chrome extension. Now, once you do this, we come over here, type over here. You can see Chrome extension of Scrap over here. This is Scrap. So once you've installed this Chrome extension over here, automatically if you see a small bar will come, export with email finder. When I click over here, it will quickly scan. I can just put, suppose I want a CMO list, it will quickly scan, scan the entire list for me. And whichever email ID is found, it will save it on my account over here. So I come back and I just hit enter. Look at this. I will get their email addresses. So Sukin Anjan is sukin.aneja@rb.com. Gaurav is gaurav.verma@zomato.com. Rajanandanda is TM Food, and whatever it can figure out, it will do is unknown. Whatever it can figure out, it will basically say verified, and whatever is invalid, it can say it's invalid because it's right out in some softwares. So this is a magical tool from where I can figure out about any person's email ID, and I can actually check that over here. How many of you people currently found this to be extremely amazing? And you just found this to be wow. Type the word wow on chat box and you're totally amazed with this tool. And you had no idea that actually this happens on LinkedIn. Right. So this is how I can figure out about anybody on the platform, and I can actually check their accounts. Right. So this makes your outreach very simple. It makes your outreach extremely easy, and plus you can reach out to more people over here as well. Okay. Now let me show you something else. Now let's take for example one more other thing about LinkedIn basically is also the job feature. So like sometimes you find this LinkedIn jobs over here, and suppose you want to put a CV out here. Now LinkedIn charges you by the way to put your CV out here. Right? So LinkedIn will charge you nothing less than close to I think they charge you nothing less than 1,260 or 1,350 rupees per posting on LinkedIn. Now, if you really want to do this, and if you still want to have your profile over here for free, I'll give you a small hack. Try to list your job on Indeed.com. Indeed.com is an absolutely free portal, and the moment you put your job listing over here, Indeed has a tie-up with LinkedIn. Whatever job portal that come on Indeed, they automatically go on LinkedIn feed. See, because everybody would not be paying LinkedIn to kind of put in their job listings out here, to be very frank. Right. And that is how you will be able to simply work around with things over here. Right. So that's again what one can simply do to figure out things on this.
Hi, Hitesh. Just
Yes.
Going back to the Scrap and Rocketry. Are they
Correct.
free to use? Do they have subscription?
Yeah, tell me. Yes.
So the Rocketry and Scrap, are they free to use or do they have
No,
subscription?
Rocket Reach has a restriction of 5. So Rocket Reach is not much of good use if you really ask, because they only give you 5 email IDs free in a month.
Okay.
Scrap gives you 150 email addresses. After that, they start charging you.
Okay.
And Hunter again gives you 150. And yeah, so this is what the thing is. Hunter 150, Scrap 150, and Rocket Reach only 5.
Okay.
So
And
Rocket Reach is not much of a use if you really ask me.
understood. Also, just one thing. See, most of these tools, even the examples you were showing us, they were showing email IDs, official email IDs. Now, how appropriate is it to
So yeah, so they don't show the personal email ID. Yeah, so they don't show personal email IDs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because that can't be guessed, and sometimes what happens, people don't write that also. So that is another drawback with this tool. I understand that. But what you can do smartly do, rather than telling them for a job opening, you can just ask them for a meeting or a phone call, correct, initially. And then probably then in the phone you can discuss about the opening. Right. Because obviously, it looks very unprofessional to kind of send an official email to somebody else's company account.
Yeah.
And figure out things. So then we have to work a smart way around, saying that, hey, we like to discuss something, we like to discuss an opportunity with you, or we like to just have a phone call to understand better. And you don't mention about the job on the email itself.
Right.
Yeah. That's one way around I can think of. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll show you something more also apart from this. Right. So I give you a small hack. Suppose you want your jobs to be on LinkedIn, you can just use Indeed.com and you can basically work around with it over here. Correct. Now I'll also tell you one more thing which you can potentially use for yourself. So now see, this kind of jobs are very cluttered because every Tom, Dick, and Harry, applies over here. And sometimes, the problem becomes that how do you segregate CV? Because there are so many CVs, and that becomes a very troublesome matter because sometimes you get so much of data, and and you get so much of like you get so many things that it will almost become impossible for you to kind of put your things out there. So in that case, what should you do, and how should you work it around? So for that same reason, what I'm going to show you is a new technique for finding out people. So let's take for example that LinkedIn has a feature called open search, which is not very utilized feature. What is open search? Open search means that whatever I search on LinkedIn, okay, even the person is my friend or not my friend, I can see their content, which is the keyword which I put over here. For example, let's take if I'm looking for a fresher, I can just say I'm looking for a job in marketing. So I just put this word because somebody will be putting this exact same word on their profile if they're looking for a job. So you just put this over here. You click on this thing called more and come to this thing called content. So anybody on LinkedIn who has used this word, I'm looking for a job in marketing, I'm looking for a job, right? I'll just put looking for a job, okay? And then I'm going to add the word marketing aside, besides it. Say in the marketing field, finance field, whatever field, okay? Say, for example, air conditioning, whichever field you are in. Then, you will basically be able to see all the posts that mentions the same thing. For example, you can see this is a person who's a recruiter only, and she's saying that, okay, they're looking for XYZ companies. There's again people who are hiring. So you can see, looking for professionals who want to migrate, settle in Canada. Okay. Requirements, again, she's an HR only putting this thing. And it's HR only putting this thing. So a lot of HRs actually putting it. So see, look at this particular person. She says, okay, my job hunt is going on. I left my job in April during pandemic. I work for Oyo Rooms as corporate sales manager. I'm actively looking for job opening sales and marketing. Location Ahmedabad. Can somebody help me? Right. So basically, I mean, this is a good thing, right? But then obviously she got a lot of comments, so it will be very difficult for us to reach out to her, and she already got a lot of opportunities. But sometimes you might find hidden gems over here. You might basically find people. So look at this guy. He says, I've lost my job. I'm looking for marketing opportunity, etc., etc., etc. So like this, you can find this hidden people, who are looking for a job currently, and who have not been placed right now, and you can actually approach them and offer them jobs, on your own as HRs, correct? And you can do that. But now what is happening is, in LinkedIn, because a lot of people are losing their jobs, a lot of comments are getting flooded because a lot of people just put commenting for better reach, commenting for better reach. But suppose if you have a better job, you can approach the candidate directly over here and tell them that, hey, you know what, I can probably help you out, right? And that's the advantage of using the open search feature. So open search feature is unlike those job feature. It is a hidden field which not many HRs actually do, correct? And if you're able to utilize it better, then nothing like it, right? So I highly recommend all of you to start using open searches for finding hidden candidates which might not usually put up their profiles anywhere, but you can still figure them out on LinkedIn as well.